So you're thinking about retirement? Or maybe you're already living the dream and you're wondering what comes next. Well, what if I told you that the first phase of retirement is like a permanent vacation? No alarms, no meetings, just pure freedom. I'm Brett. I'm retired, and this is my story about the transitioning to the biggest, most fun adventure of our lives. And trust me, there's a lot more to this retirement thing than just sitting on the beach. Are you ready? Let's dive in. $60 is not old. There's no seniors discount at 55.
Well, if you were 55, that'd be a different story.
For us, it all started when we sold our last retail store. After years of a business we loved, serving our community through the teaching of art, it was all coming to an end of nearly 2 decades. We were done with the day-to-day hustle, and that day was April 15th. Next came the sale of our house, and well, my no more storage units rule went out the window, that's for sure. But here's the thing, getting rid of stuff, it was exhilarating. It was freedom in the purest form, and it was like a weight had been lifted. So much for making fun of the tiny lifestyle because we were going tiny. But we weren't done yet. We bought a motorhome a few years earlier, not just any motorhome, a 43-foot beauty. It was our dream vacation set on wheels. And I'm talking about living like nomads on the highway with the open road ahead and enjoying nothing but time, and lots of spare time. Now here's the kicker. Our first stop was a cruise. We hadn't done a cruise before, so I gotta tell you, I totally get it now. The Icon of the Seas, our chosen dream ship, the largest cruise ship in the world, was like stepping onto an entirely new world. And if you're looking for motivation to retire, take a cruise. Trust me on this one. It's a game changer. Wow, beautiful day one. Here we are on the Icon of the Seas. Boy, I can't tell you how much, excitement for the first time cruising. First time cruising on the biggest boat on the sea. So last night, after dinner, we walked into the elevator, of which I didn't have a single microphone. I didn't even have my cell phone to be able to record anything, but I got a couple clips to show you in a while. There was a young man playing a piano in the elevator. But just as quickly as the ship had left port, the cruise phase was coming to an end. Our vacation dreams, on the other hand, were only beginning. We had 20 states in mind, and we weren't slowing down. The motorhome was ready, full of fuel and ready to go, and the open road was calling. Here we go. Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, West Virginia, Washington, D.C. Oh my God, you have to see Washington, D.C. Maryland, Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska. Whoa, back the bus up here. I do not ever need to see Nebraska or Kansas ever again. Sorry, folks. Can we say corn? Corn? All right, moving along. It was Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, and then back to Las Vegas. So many things we saw in between. 8,450 miles. Every time I had to photograph it when we got to the gate here at Las Vegas Motor Coach. 8,450 miles later, we had 8,000 photos and videos, met amazing people, and built memories with family and friends that, we just couldn't have done if we weren't retired. It was a whirlwind, and we were living our dream. Retirement was everything we thought it would be at first. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds amazing, and it was what dreams were made of. But what happens when the vacation phase is over? The phone is no longer ringing. Let me tell you, that's when things got real. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it one bit. I'm 64 years old, my wife Natalie, 48, and we've had a life filled with constant hustle and work. So what happens when you're used to always being on the go, setting the standard, signing the paychecks, and suddenly the world slows down? I don't mean slows down, I mean comes to a damn stop. And this is where it gets interesting. After a while, the constant freedom and lack of routine felt, odd. It's just off. For two people who'd been in charge, always needed, on demand, and constantly moving, the silence was deafening. We went from being significant, the ones signing the paychecks, to, retirees. And that brought some tough realizations. It made me stop and think about my dad. I love him to death, and he's still around today, kicking, screaming every day, and probably going to live into his late 90s. So that got me thinking, what about me? If I'm retiring at 64 years old, I've got 30 more years. 30 more years to do what? What the hell am I going to do for 30 years? It wasn't as easy as I thought. Now don't worry, we're not just sitting around wasting time. We're running errands, we're going shopping, we're going to Target, we're going to Walmart. We're doing those things. But what comes next is what I'm going to share with you in the next video. So, as I tell you my story and you tell me yours, I'm hoping to change the way we are all looking at retirement. I'm going to help you laugh, cry, and throw insignificance out the window, because retirement doesn't mean giving up on life. It means redefining it. In the next chapters of my story, I hope that you and I together will find new purpose, new meaning, maybe even reinvent ourselves and find a new path forward. So, Brett on the Go, take a look at my channel. We've got all kinds of great places that we've been. Hit that subscribe button, add a comment or two, and let's open a new chapter together. Tell me about your story. Brett on the Go.